In the last episode, the town of Havara was quite significantly, butchered really. There was quite a massacre of the defenders of Havara. Brave people, mind you. But yeah, sadly, many of them died. Okay, 1, 2, remove that. So, let's make sure to avenge them properly, and let's play Seven Kingdoms II The Frightened Walls. Do we actually have to move more people up here? I don't think we actually have to move those guys there. Yeah, let's keep this guy there. I'm not sure why he's attacking this town specifically. I believe it's just because it's the weakest defended. Okay, the king had a nice ride out here. On the bright side, that gave his troops chance to recover. At least a bit. I mean, they didn't recover that much. And I wish we had a Ring of Life so we could actually speed this up a bit more. I mean, they won general down in our capital, or I'm not sure if I can call that my capital, but near the town we have founded for this scenario as kind of a base of operations. This guy actually has a Ring of Life, and I actually planned to give that around among his troops if the need arises, but it doesn't. So let's just roll with that. I'm also kind of hoping for a Chinese general now, and I should also probably build a Tower of Science. It's about time. Okay. Did his military value? Yeah, it did drop quite heavily now. However, since he has a lot of life and he killed a lot of civilians, so he probably has a fair amount of life points. Although he probably blew through those, because after all, civilians only gave like 20 a pop, because they only had 20 health, and I believe it's basically 1 for 1. So obviously, if you kill heroes, you get more life because they have more health. But in the end, I think it's just the amount of health points that unit had is what you get as your life points. Okay. Now, where to strike? I'm actually tempted to go here. And to make one of those guys, probably you, general, and move him over here. Kind of in advance. So he can do something. I'm also highly hoping this is recording. As I said, I believe between episode 6 and 7, some episodes were lost. I have to look that up. I recorded last night, and I realized that those episodes were missing in the end. OBS actually gives you files with a timestamp, and since I do keep up my countdown, it's around every 15 minutes, one episode, and I have an episode around every 15 minutes. And in this case, I didn't have that. I think I missed 1 or 2. And that really bothered me, but I can't do that now. I can't do anything about that now, right? I really can't. I mean, I could just re-record everything, but I don't feel like doing that. You didn't miss that much. I'm not sure if you missed the bugged scenario, which we basically won instantly. Aside of that, there was not too much happening. We fought Tritons, we fought the Eastern Empire. Wait, aren't we? No, we're the Western Empire. So we fought the Eastern Empire. I'm not sure if that is entirely lost, or if there's some of that footage still there. I'll have to look back. I only skimmed through the episodes to name them. But yeah, I didn't really look into the episodes and go into too much detail about what was happening in them and what they were about and what was going on there. Might have missed some of the diplomacy though. I believe the Eastern Empire, we actually had the chance to ask the Eastern Empire for support against the Tritons. which I believe is questionable, and I think if you ask them for that, they demand something else of you in return. So I don't like that too much, and there was really no reason to actually do it. I mean, we're doing fine on our own, and I'm quite sure the price for actually asking the Empire is too high. I could have checked it, but I don't know. Teehee. It's also hard to see if the king is shooting multiple arrows, because there's just so much firing going on here. And that's only 15 guys. Like it's much worse if you actually have more troops firing. I'm also going to hit the mage tower first. I could probably want to have a backup group here. Actually, don't do that. Oh, there's Tabus. I might actually want a backup group here. Maybe not this guy, this troop, because they might still be required in the defense of Havara. Yes, I forgot the name of the city that just got so massively hit. I am so sorry. Yeah, because I believe that the first thing he'll do once those guys attack is actually freeze them, and I want to have some form of defense for them ready. You're an auto, and you look at that. That's actually a good sign to see, because this is an enemy Grokken. Grokken have 100 health when they are formed, when they're fully trained. And you can see that those guys have about 160 health, so that's not that much. Which means those guys are barely out of recruitment. And if he makes those guys autos, that's generally a sign that he doesn't have anything that, or he doesn't have that much better to autoify, I guess. Also, we didn't see any resources on this map yet, which is something I find troubling. And I really don't mind if he actually starts building a lair, because we will tear it down quite fast. And that means that he will have wasted a lot of resources on that. Lairs are expensive. I think they cost 400 gold and 200 life, or 400 and 400. I'm not sure. I'm not sure actually, but I know it's a lot. And we'll have to exploit this AI a bit. There we go. Now we have him. It's always a matter of getting this one shot in. Once you have the first shot in, you can just wipe the enemy out. Trap them in their AI loop, and then that's fine. Okay, those guys almost have reached this. Mary Bray. Why do you think I told you all to get moving? Yeah, this is the AI bugging out here. Look at that. They're not... Okay. Everybody go back. We'll attack this guy. There's no reason to keep him alive. Yeah, sometimes that happens. I can't really prevent that. I'm not sure if it's possible to do that. I'm not sure how I would do that. All I know is that it sucks. It bothers me, it sucks, and you can't do anything about it. Okay, we can only do war machines. That sucks. I was hoping we could get something fancier. Oh, really? Really? That's kinda stupid. Okay. Yeah, this guy won't actually make it to that point. Okay, we might actually also need to have one chariot general over here. For now. I'm torn. Do I want to attack this? Also, if I tell you to attack this, will you all move? No, you won't. Some of you will just not do anything. Oh, many of you have already... Okay. I'm not sure what that was about, but I don't like it. And it's also kind of bad if that happens while you are really sure you have those troops available and you're sure they can do stuff. Okay, let's just hope this works out. And let's just hope he only has one tower. Although I believe he only has that one. Okay, you might want to attack those now. Why do we keep getting the plague? By the way, I think you're informed if, as a quitzer, if the plague hits one of your slave towns. But there's nothing you can do to prevent it, really. It's just a random event that happens. And it will happen, and you just can't prevent it. It will happen, and it will suck when it happens, especially if it's a slave town, because I think slave towns recover even slower than regular towns. Partially because they are so small. I mean, they have been pretty much wiped out. The enslaving process is not a very citizen-friendly one. Where are you going? Have to be that close to the damn thing. So I believe the problem here is that we have so many forts around there. So they can't do anything, or they just can't sort that out. Okay, this mage tower is now gone. This must be the part idle again. Wow, that's pretty damn quick. I didn't remember those to be so quick. Oi. This guy was there all the time. That's kind of weird. And it's also surprising that he actually didn't betray us. I'm gonna kill them both now. It was nice having them around, but there's just no reason to keep them around. I know some people like to have sort of a foreigners legion where they have an entire squadron of Fritons. But I think that's just a sentimental and rather dumb notion, really. Or a rather dumb thing to have. I mean, yes, it's interesting to have this entire squadron of random creatures kicking ass, maybe, but since they're not going to arrive at the same time anywhere, it's just kind of a liability. And they might work well for defending their own fort, but that's pretty much all they can do, in my opinion. I'm not saying they're weak or anything, I'm just saying that it's not that useful, or not as useful as a proper squad. He's attacking my... Why would you attack an inn? Also, could you all just help him there? You go back in. Somebody fix that inn up. Also surprising how this is apparently a less terrible brawl than whatever destroys those inns every now and then. Okay, you are still going strong. The weird thing is, no soldiers have died yet in this squad. Although I suppose one or two are pretty much about to do it. This guy's about to snuff it. There we go. The first soldier has indeed passed out here. He has passed, so it is finally time to get going. You didn't have to go right through the enemy hordes. But yeah, this is... I just consider this a good time, because I believe that once the squad is weakened that far, I mean, when one soldier dies, there's a good chance the others are weakened or otherwise damaged. And so, yeah, it's just a good time to drop it. Also, I was just hoping we could get somebody with a Ring of Life here, So we could pass it around in the Royal 4, and that would basically help us. Also, I'm hoping that we can actually get everybody to do their thing now. I'll try to not give them all such a remote target for starters, and now we should actually... I hope they would actually move as a team and not as whatever that was last time. Okay. So, I'm going to do one more episode. Until then, bye.